Welcome to the Just Enough Heshy Show. Tonight, we have
some incredible lineup. So first let's tell everybody that tonight Heshy's not going to be here, unfortunately.
Aww.
And because he's got a very important event to attend to. So it looks like you're
So
going
we're
to
in
be
charge?
your primary lead. So we have Soya as our primary lead co-host. And I, as some of you may recognize, some of you may know already, Bumi, who is secondary co-host.
We also have
yes,
a very special guest tonight, Gary Tilzer, campaign consultant and journalist for over 3 decades. That's about as old as I am.
That's good.
Well, it's great to have you here tonight, Gary. I think we should get on with the show the way Heshy usually does it, and then we'll pick it up at our own pace. I don't know, do we usually
We're going to do our shout-outs first.
Okay, let's do
Mira
that.
Nava.
Hi, Mira Nava. Hi, honey.
Lila Tamar. Big H says hi.
Okay.
Sergeant Peter.
Hi, Sarge.
Dove and Shani Hyken.
Hi, Dove and Shani. We love you. You know that. Okay. Now that we've done the shout-outs, I think we should go ahead and do the commercials. Our advertisers.
We got to pay for the airtime somehow.
Absolutely. So I think that's important. Let's get through it.
High Tech Web Group. Have you been pushing off remodeling or creating a website? Well, now you don't have to any longer. Let High Tech Web Group's team of professionals construct your site with skill and precision. You can reach High Tech Web Group at 212-235-2777. Check out their website at info@hightechwebgroup.com. That's info at HITECHWEBGROUP.com. Call High Tech Web Group today so you can experience a whole new world of business.
Isn't that? Yes, I'm sorry.
212-235-2777.
You do that beautifully, Soya. I'm looking forward to hearing you continue. But isn't High Tech Web Group actually the company that Mr. Producer, our own producer, runs?
Yes, Jaime. We would not have this
Jaime?
show if it would not.
Jaime. Mr. Producer, I think his name is Abraham.
Abe, yes.
Okay.
But we would not have the show if it was not for High Tech Web Group. Call them today, and you can experience a whole new world of business.
That's 212-235-2777.
We have Plaza Auto Leasing. They are not only a leasing company, but also a dealership. You get the best of both worlds, the flexibility to lease or buy any vehicle, make or model, combined with quick service, huge inventory, and easy approvals. There is no finance manager to meet with, just a friendly pal, sales representative that can handle most of the transaction from start to finish without you even having to step foot in their office. All you have to do is place your order, and they will even deliver your car right to your door. What are you waiting for? Become a pal and call Plaza Auto Leasing today. You can reach Plaza Auto Leasing at 718-975-9000. You can also check out their website at www.plazaautoleasing.com. That's PLAZAAUTOLEASING.com. Located at 2750 Nostrand Avenue on the corner of Nostrand Avenue and Avenue N. Call 718-975-9000 and become a pal today. And don't forget to tell them Uncle Heshy sent you.
Right.
We have Cook's Power. Cook's Power, a family-owned and operated company serving the Brooklyn community and local areas, committed to quality and superior customer service. They specialize in residential and commercial lighting installation and repairs, as well as wiring or rewiring of your home or business. Check out their website, www.cookspowernyc.com, or call Cook's Power at 718-794-8236. Call Cook's Power and live a happy life. I feel like we're missing something. You know, Heshy, to tell people how to be safe, and, you know, they don't want to have a fire, and they should be calling Cook's Power.
No, absolutely.
And they shouldn't be joking around with their
There's no
electric.
joke when you're playing with your electric, of course.
718-794-8236. And then we have Baruch's Barbershop. Baruch's Barbershop.
Isn't he that barber, that incredibly talented barber, that actually cuts only Heshy's gray hairs out and leaves in the remaining dark hairs?
Baruch's Barbershop is located at 108 Avenue I. You can reach Baruch's Barbershop at 718-758-5187 or call, text, or WhatsApp Baruch personally to schedule your appointment at 347-845-9131. That's 347-845-9131. He is the official singing barber of Heshy Tischler.
Oh, that gives him a head one.
We have TT Styles, hair, wigs, makeup, weddings, events, and all affairs. She will do you up to a T. You can check out Tehila's Instagram at Tehila at TT Styles 1. That's TEHILA at TEETESTYLES 1. To book an appointment, call Tehila at 516-362-6484. That's 516-362-6484.
And remember, she brings out the beauty in you.
We have Green Line Building Solutions, Preservation, Development, Fire Department, Criminal Court, Department of Finance, Environmental Control Board settlements, building consulting violation removals. Something is missing. Usually Heshy interrupts
That sounds
me.
like somebody's company that I know. Who owns that company?
I feel like something is missing.
Nothing is missing at all, but I think...
he's not interrupting me and telling me to wrap it up.
Well, then enjoy it.
Construction
enjoy it,
management,
enjoy it.
owner compliance, contracting, licensed Department of Building Expediters Designs, professionals for all your building solutions. Located at 202 Foster Avenue, you can reach Greenline Building Solutions at 718-871-0382. That's 718-871-0382.
You keep at it, sweetheart. I think you're doing great, and I'll tell you something. Because you're giving so much prime attention to each one of these individual advertisers, we're going to jack up their price by just a couple of dollars.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, sure. And we're going to get a raise too, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Moilo Iron Works. This is an extraordinary company. Brian is the owner, and I can tell you personally that he is friendly, knowledgeable, and helpful, professional, always on time, and fair pricing. Moilo treats every customer with a personal and individualized approach. If you're looking to have ironwork done in your home or place of business, look no further. Moilo does structural grates, railings, porches, window guards, security doors, awnings, all welding and repairs. Call Moilo for all your metal fabrications at 917-325-0627. That's 917-325-0627. You can check out their Facebook at www.facebook.com/Moilo Ironworks. That's MOYLOWIRONWORKS. Located in the heart of Brooklyn, serving all 5 boroughs and Long Island. Call Moilo Ironworks today for a free estimate at 917-325-0627. The next one we have is Boomies. He's got to take it away. That's Traveler's Choice.
Traveler's Choice, Joseph and the Voralifer. You find it amusing when I take it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, remember, for all of your travel needs, first of all, for your flight, for your hotel bookings, for your automobile reservations, for everything that you need, you just have to make one simple phone call. You don't have to get on the computer and go from site to site and go searching for Matthias all over the place. One simple phone call to Traveler's Choice, Joseph and the Voralifer. They're at 212-868-8698. Again, 212-868-8698. Remember, for all of your travel needs, Traveler's Choice is your only choice. One phone call for everything.
You can call in to the Justin F. Heshy Show at 718-289-0070. Call on in, 718-289-0070. And you can email the Justin F. Heshy Show at justinofheshy@gmail.com. That's JUSTENOUGHHESHY@gmail.com. You can also YouTube and super chat us with any of your questions. And don't forget to donate at heshydishler.com for his campaign. Small donations, all donations, any donations are greatly appreciated. That's
big ones too.
No, keep it small. Keep it small. We want to keep it small and friendly. You know, $3, $5, $18, $20.
We'll take hundreds and thousands also. We won't decline those. In any event, by the way,
I heard if it's $1,000 that Linda
gets
gonna
half of it.
kill me.
I don't. Well, all right.
Linda has to go out with them.
She has to go out with them. Leave Linda alone right now. Okay.
Go out with Heshy instead.
By the way, it's interesting. Somebody wrote over here on the chat. Yeah, it says, I don't know. They seem to have got a knockoff Heshy sitting in the. You're a knockoff Heshy?
I'm not a knockoff anything. I'm the real thing.
Right, and certainly not a knockoff Heshy.
I'm not a knockoff anything.
Okay.
Do I look like a knockoff?
All right. Have we finished the commercials yet?
We finished up. We did
Okay.
the shout outs, and we have.
Well, then, if you
Well, no,
don't...
hold on. We have the quote of
HeshyTishler.com.
HeshyTishler.com.
That's where you do your contributions. You look up and see what we're doing for his candidacy for
And
the New
you
York
spell
City
that at
Council.
HeshyTishler.com, HeshyTishler.com.
Okay.
Did I get that right?
And now, my dear Laura,
Who's Laura?
oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get, you're not Laura Ingraham?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got mixed up. Who are oh, right, I'm sorry, you're not Laura Ingraham, you're Sawyer.
The
You remind me
quote.
so much of her, but anyway, okay.
The
we have
quote for
of the day,
today.
please. Okay.
It is amazing what you can accomplish if you do not care who gets the credit. And that is the epitome of Heshy Tishler. It is
happens to be-
amazing what you can accomplish if you do not care who gets the credit.
And you want to know something that's very true, but it really takes a genuine person and somebody, a tzaddik, to really, most people, when they do things, whether, even if they're doing
Righteous
whatever they do,
people.
righteous, but most people that do things want to get credit for what they do. That's natural. A person wants to be recognized for the good things that he does. But people that do things just for the sake of doing, because they're doing good things, not because they're looking for the credit, those are the real righteous people in this world. And you don't find too many. But it's, it's nice to know we do have some out
In
there.
the real world, in our
Yeah.
culture,
Right.
Hitting the narrative is more important than truth nowadays. So
Unfortunately.
you have a mixture here.
We do.
You have a righteous person against a real world today, a culture that rewards hitting the narrative for the truth.
Correct.
Truth is not rewarded now.
Well,
Not
well
at all.
summed up.
And this is quite tragic. But this is the way it is. We appreciate the way you summed it up, in fact.
We need
Correct,
more
Larry.
Heshy Tishlers. The joke for today.
Today's joke.
When Heshy first opened his small travel agency, he had a travel agency many years ago. One summer morning, he had to leave the office temporarily under the sole management of a very young secretary he just hired that day. And he said to her, "Just answer the phones if it rings." He told her, the secretary, her name is Chani. The phone rang as Heshy started to walk, and he heard Chani say, "Hello, this is Chai Travel. My name is Chani."
Chiny.
Chani,
Chai Travel. My name is Chiny.
do you have flights available to Miami? Asked a woman's voice at the other end of the line. Chani scratched her head and said, "Ma'am, when I said hello, I told you everything I know." Okay, you're supposed to laugh now.
I'm laughing. What do you want? I'm not overly...
Well, this is the joke. If you don't find it funny, this is the joke that Heshy gave me. This is his joke of the day.
Okay. So we got a lot of things to discuss, a lot of things going on in the world today, not least of which is our dear President Biden, who has a difficulty remembering his I wouldn't say it in those, let's say his two elbows from each other, separating them apart, is currently, from what I understand, giving his so-called current State of the Union address, which has changed dramatically from the day that he has entered office and during the last 4 months or so until today. Gary,
Actually, it's not a State of the Union.
It's not a State of the Union. It's just an
'Cause
address to the
You have to
nation.
be in office for a year to do a State
Right,
of the
State of the Union. So it's an address to the nation.
Right.
And Gary, what, if I may address you now, what do you think about, he is now in office for 4 months, I think it is, correct? January 20th?
100 days tomorrow.
Okay, exactly. So anyway, in these 100 days, it seems to me, I hope I really wish that I were wrong, but, I have seen foreign policy go to pot. I'm seeing the country seemingly imploding from the inside. I'm seeing a spike in antagonism between races and race relations. I am seeing gas prices skyrocket. I am seeing everything good that was done. I'm seeing the border in a total pandemonium.
They haven't even visited the border.
That's correct. I'm seeing disaster across the board. That's the way I see it. Gary, how can he address us tonight? What do you think he might be able to say? How do you see this as somebody who has been watching politics for so many years? How would you view this? Tonight's address?
He's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to go all the way with what he wants to do.
Okay.
And it's not only him. He's run by a team of people behind the scenes.
When you say he's run by a team of people, Are you suggesting that he's sort of like a puppet president in essence?
No, he's not a puppet.
He's not a puppet. So you think he knows what he's doing? You do believe that he does?
Yeah, he wants to show that he is, the real Obama, that he really is going to be like an FDR character. We change the society, and he's got these, all kinds of plans to put into effect. It's the most ingenious thing I've ever seen, because what he does is he gets Congress to pass the bill that they passed last month was for COVID relief, but it was $2 trillion.
And stuff.
And that
with...
wait. And that in there was a lot of money for projects that we have no clue about. We know that people got $1,400 in their bank account. People making less than $75,000. So these people are very happy to get the money. There's no look by the media or by anybody at this point on what else is in the bill. And what is in the bill is a tremendous amount of money for things that we have no idea. And it's like almost like a slush fund.
Sounds like pork filling to me.
Well, in older days it's pork. Today it's a tremendous amount of money. We're talking about more money than ever was put into these programs.
Well, billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Putting us further into debt.
They're going to do the same thing now with the infrastructure bill. 9% of that bill is going to be for infrastructure. And then they're going to broaden the word, what the infrastructure means. It also means helping children. It means helping this group and that group. So they're going to a ton of money in these infrastructure bills. And nobody knows where the money is really going to go. So they developed a genius way to get tons of money through the Congress and then have money in the budget to do whatever they want behind the scenes.
So do you think, though, Gary, this is a question a lot of people debate, that he is really totally in control, or does he have some early stage dimension where they are pulling his strings? This has been planned by Pelosi, Schumer, the entire Democratic top establishment to get these things through so as to, affect their particular political agenda. Or is it him? Or is he really in genuine control?
I'm not a doctor. I don't know what the signs of dementia are. But I think he's been very effective in 3 months doing exactly what he wants to do.
And apparently you're saying, so
If
what he
you
wants to
don't
do is
like it,
destroy
that's
America.
What about the litany of videos and footage of him babbling, inconsistently incoherent, slurring words, hiding in the basement, a video that was just released of him telling for Kamala Harris and what's that other crazy lady that runs the House Speaker? What's her name? Yeah, crazy lady.
Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, her. What about him saying to them, "Oh, tell me what to say. Tell me what to do. I will do and say what you tell me to do." A video released. I mean, it looks insane. This is the president of the United States. Do you understand now that all the countries, Asia, Russia, and all the countries, all the big foreign countries are looking at us, and we are the laughing stock of the world because we have a bumbling president who doesn't know his right hand from his left hand. I'm sorry, his wife ties his shoelaces in the morning, okay? She pats him, gives him a lunchbox, okay? She gives him a lunchbox, a Simpsons lunchbox, and he goes off to the office, and he says, "What should I do today? Tell me."
Again, I don't know how much we're going to talk like this because I am not an expert in age. And what
It's not a question of just age,
you know,
a question of his
and again,
particular...
You can't ignore the visual and the audio
it doesn't
proof
matter.
that's been out there.
He has put together a situation where
He hasn't put together a sentence.
Well, he has.
I'm sorry.
He has a team of people and himself putting together a very effective
Kamala Harris and Pelosi.
group.
Orchestrating, yes, he has an orchestrating group.
And nobody seems to be able to stop him. So you can make any...
You can't stop the
Your
Democrats.
words, the next election could stop them if enough of the public is angry. But right now, it doesn't really pay to put names on these people because it doesn't do anything.
Okay, we're getting some incoming calls. Let me take one call to start with, okay, just to find out Hello, you're on the air with Soya, Bumi, and
Gary.
Hi. Don't be shy. Speak up. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hi. You're on the air.
Hi, I'm sorry I didn't hear. How's everything?
That's
It's
Hi,
Frank.
fine.
how are you? Who do we have?
I'm good. I apologize I didn't hear the phone pick up. My apologies.
That's fine.
So I didn't hear from the beginning, but I came on. I wanted to ask you guys a question. So what would be your opinions now on the expulsion of the Honorable Councilman Heim Deutsch?
You know, we had made up that we were not going to really talk about that. What I will say...
That's a good question.
What I will say, in order to address that briefly, is that a lot of people make mistakes on their tax returns, and they're not hunted down by the FBI.
Actually, I'm sorry. He did not have a trial. It's not out yet. It's just at the very beginning. He was accused of it, and what he was basically accused of was something that's really very questionable. In 2015, the laws changed that you could not be a political position holder where you had outside business outside of your elected post.
Elected office.
Outside of your elected office. And basically, I really feel that they're gonna the government is gonna make a scapegoat out of him. They're looking to go after him. He's a Jew. He's a politician. He has a lot of, he's an elected official, and they want to make an example out of him. But the truth is, I think it was whatever it was, 82, 84, 80 something thousand dollars that he didn't steal that money per se. I mean, his day in court has not been, but basically he didn't report from expenses for his business. He took it for his personal. So he took it as personal
And that could
expenses.
very well have been just a genuine error.
And it could have been
in
a
the accounting
genuine
process.
error. And another thing is
And it can
that
be made
he,
up, and many people have years to make up these things
As-
and pay these things back. And they
as
don't
far
get
as
caught.
I know, there was a statement also that he was going to repay it back. I also know that there is not clemency. There's another word for it, where the IRS allows you to pay back years later, even if you committed way worse, or even if you committed an actual crime. They let you pay back amnesty. There's an amnesty program from the Internal Revenue Service where you're able to pay back the monies. So, I mean, this may or may not be extended to him.
I believe that this is unfair.
I believe
and this
it
leads
should.
us, I think this leads us into the raid on Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
And Giuliani's home. Because
Federal
Can I
Bureau.
say something? You guys, the guest has to say once in a while.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Special guest, go ahead.
Special guest, please.
I was a special guest.
You are a special
so that
guest. You
means
have
that
so many
I
years
should-
in journalism and
I should
politics.
come
you
in
do.
with statements once in a while.
Absolutely. Well, by all means, break in
can't.
whenever you
No,
feel like
you
it.
should come into
No,
statements
feel-
when you
Gary,
have a
if you can
statement.
Gary, feel free to break in, please.
Well, I'm going to say one thing about Chaim. He was one of the few out there that really tried to do a good job.
He certainly did.
And
yes.
he had a good heart. And he took chances in where he stood in the community and put himself out there on a number of things. And it's just incredibly sad what's gone on here. I mean,
Very sad.
there are a lot more corrupt people
Absolutely.
in government stealing money from government than Chaim Dirt.
Absolutely, genuinely stealing. That's why
And-
we're saying this should not be happening.
And it's very sad that this happened. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, and what I wanted to say is this kind of puts us into the Rudy Giuliani event, the raid on his home.
How about we take another call?
I don't see a call lighting up, am I correct? I don't see another phone call, but we're waiting for calls. Call in at any time. ladies and gentlemen.
718-289-0070. That's 718-289-0070. Please call in.
That's right.
Let's talk about redistricting.
I will in a minute. I just want to discuss this just for a moment, then we'll get to
You
the-
wrote a beautiful, I read that article this morning. Beautiful article. It was in the Forward?
No,
It was-
Jewish voice.
I'm sorry, in the Jewish Voice. It actually came out today, this morning?
Yes. What's today? Yesterday.
Yesterday. You emailed it to me either last night or this morning, and I read it this morning out loud to a few people, and they thought it was a beautifully well-written article on the redistricting. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I wanted to take a big look at what's gone on in the Brooklyn Jewish community, because when I was a kid, I remember going down to Brighton Beach. There was a thing called Brighton Beach Baths, and the area that where Hayim district is was all Ashkenazi Jews who came from the Holocaust generation.
Right, in those days, sure.
And at that time, they were 10% of the vote of Brooklyn. 20% if you want to count Brighton Beach. Now, the things have really changed tremendously, that the vote is maybe 3 or 4% of the Brooklyn vote. The vote now is a bunch of progressives, yuppies from other states who live in northern Brooklyn, whether Park Slope, Brooklyn Heights, or other places like that. So I wanted to see what the Orthodox, the Jewish community accomplished when they were good voting votes. And what I look back at, Emanuel Sellers was elected in 1932, okay? By the Jewish, he was the first Jewish congressman in Brooklyn, okay? And he was a very big organizer. He had a lot to do with organizing the state of Israel. He had a lot to do with international and national things for the Jewish community. And he was a congressman for a big area of Brooklyn. Okay, he was also as a congressman for 50 years. He also was very involved in the civil rights movement, passing the voting rights bill and other things in the 60s, which was the beginning of a black Jewish coalition that went very big in those days. He left, and the next congressman in was Steve Solaz.
I remember Steve Solaz very well.
Who was very big with foreign policy. He went to Israel.
He helped with good relations.
He was not like any congressman today.
He was one of the strongest.
He was almost like a Secretary of State.
Yes,
Wow.
he was incredibly powerful and the strongest pro-Israel congressman we had at the time.
But he also went to Egypt. He went to Arab countries, and
Yes.
he tried to put together things. Shimon Peres was very complimentary of him when he passed away.
He was the once president of Israel, Shimon Peres.
Yes.
Okay.
So what he did during his time, Steve Solaz, was to bring in Russian Jews and Sephardic Jews into Brooklyn. He worked those deals out with the administration and with those countries.
I remember his summer barbecues in Manhattan Beach.
Other politicians did a lot too. Heiken did a lot. And
That's right, Dove, of course.
But he
But
worked.
these were the people that what's the word?
Special generation back then, we still had our best leaders.
And today, nobody knows who these people are in Brooklyn. There are no statues. There are no plaques. There might be one street named after Solaz in Brooklyn, but there's nothing naming Emanuel Sellers. It's almost like a whole forgotten history.
Sadly so.
What?
Sadly so.
Yeah. Now you go to now, and that Jewish tradition continues from Solaz to Anthony Weiner, and also Schumer had also a little piece of it now, when he was also a congressman for a time.
That was before he flipped his lid in the liberal progressive Senate.
Okay. Now you have Weiner, who's the congressman who was a congressman until 2011.
Left very shamefully with his behavior, his conduct.
In 2011, he resigned, and because of all these, problems with minors and everything, and because he was very controversial. Everybody remembers him for the emails of Hillary and his wife on his computer, but what he really did was end the Jewish seat, because that same year, 2012, New York lost 2 congressmen. And since the replacement of Weiner, who was Bob Turner, was not, a real heavy incumbent, he lost the seat to a incumbent congressman who get the seats when their seats eliminated. So that was the end of the Brooklyn Jewish seat. And it's very sad what happened. And nobody even understands that today.
Gary, how does the redistricting work? Let's start with the federal level. Why do they redistrict? And what factors do they take into account, whether they be ethnic or religious or whatever factors they take into account for purposes of redistricting when they determine which way to cut the lines?
The law says that every 10 years, the federal law and state laws,
Okay.
every 10 years, districts have to be redrawn to show for changes in population and other changes in other things too. And New York
Is that why they were so strongly taking the census this past year and so pushing it so strongly,
Right.
asking people to sign, whether it be online, otherwise, so that they make sure that we have our representations mostly?
we still lost the seat.
We still lost the seat, okay.
But how the state works, they also redistrict.
Okay.
And the state and the federal government is supposed to be redistricting by the assembly redistricts itself and the state senate redistricts itself. The both groups together are supposed to redistrict the congressional lines. Sometimes they don't come to an agreement and the courts step in and they put a master in there to come up with the lines.
Okay.
Okay?
Gary, you wrote in your article that it seems as though in the next year there will be redistricting of these city council lines.
Right.
First of all, who does that and what's taken into account on that
City
one?
council does it by a committee put together by the mayor and the council president. Since we don't know who the mayor's going to be, and we don't know who the council person is going to be in 2002, nobody knows who's going to be, what's going to happen. What happens is usually an incumbent, they try to save the incumbent districts.
They
And
do.
And they also do, this was where this comes in Brooklyn, there's been a very big Asian population growth
Correct.
in Sunset Park, in the 47th, which is, I guess, Bensonhurst and other areas like that.
Right.
And since the Asians are having terrible problems with
And-
violence right now, there's a big push to create an Asian city council district. And that's going to probably...
And they're doing it
And that
because
will-
of the attacks. They want representation.
Right.
Will-
And that's the redistricting is putting us in danger of actually losing representation.
Well,
When you
here's
say
the-
us, you mean putting the Jewish community in danger of losing representation, as well as the conservative community. When you're looking at the Jewish community on the whole, let's say the mainstream Orthodox religious community, you're looking at a very strong conservative community.
Well, what happened was in the 2003 redistricting, in 2001, a candidate named Riccio, Dominic Riccio, won the seat in Brighton. And that seat was all of southern Brooklyn was united, but he had his challenges with 5 Jewish candidates, some Russian, some not. So they split the vote. And what Riccio did was cut the Russian community in half in the redistricting in 2003. You had the 47th, which is Traeger, and you had the 48th, which eventually became Dirt. Okay? Now they're going to probably create the Chinese district out of Traeger's district, and then that means that they're going to make an effort to keep a Russian district in southern Brooklyn. So we'll reunite the 47th, the bottom half, where the Russians live, and the bottom half of the 48th, where the Russians live, and a little bit of the 46th, like Pachelga Street in that area, and they'll create a Russian district.
Gary, when you refer to the Russians, aren't most of these Russians Jewish Russians, primarily?
Used to be.
Used to be.
There's a lot of people from Uzbekistan.
Right,
other-
exactly, the Jewish.
And they're not, no, a lot of people
lot that are
coming
not.
in the last 10 years or 15 years are not Jewish. The first wave was very Jewish.
It was very Jewish.
And now it's sort of like different groups.
So will this redistricting on a local level affect our current seats, like the Deutsche seat, whoever is going to come take him, because now he has to, his term limit, he has term limits is expiring now, and will it affect Kalman-Jaeger's seat, our local officials?
Let's talk about the dirt seat. It depends on who wins.
Okay.
If a Russian candidate wins,
Right.
or somebody from the southern part of the district, they'll easily run in the new created district in the south in 2003.
Notwithstanding the concentration of Asian part.
No, the Asians are going to be their own district in the Benson House.
I see. So they're going to be separated from
The
that.
southern Brooklyn district will be a Russian district.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Manhattan Beach.
And this is not
Brighton.
necessarily a primarily Jewish area?
It is a lot of Jews.
A lot of, probably 60, 70% Jewish Russians.
It was years ago. I'm not sure what it is now, but it's very heavily Russian.
Okay.
Okay? So what's going to happen is the top half of the Dirge district, the 48th
It's
district,
going to lose their representation in essence.
is going to be an orphan if a southern district candidate wins.
Right.
An orphan will be probably matched up with Flatbush or Windsor Terrace, which are very liberal areas, and put it into Midwood, which means that the nature of the district will be changed tremendously.
And you'll be hard pressed to get a conservative.
You won't.
You won't get a conservative, which means we're going to lose that as well.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem that the redistricting is helping the conservative viewpoint at all across the board.
Well, understand this. You used to have a Republican-controlled state Senate.
State Senate, right.
You lost that.
We lost that.
So you have a Democratic state Senate, which is very liberal. You have an assembly, which is very... You have to understand, the last years, not only AOC has won, but several liberal very left-wing candidates have taken over Albany. In fact, they've done a lot. Look what they've done on bail. Look what they've done on, they're taxing millionaires. As people are moving out of the city, this city is going to raise taxes on millionaires, which, and even Wall Street.
Which is catastrophic.
Someone just asked
people. I was just about
a
to get to
question.
that.
They wanted to know they could create an Asian district without eliminating a Jewish one. The problem is they, like Gary just stated, they may have to eliminate it because of redistricting. And also, the census, New York will lose one seat in the House of Representatives. If 89 more people had filled out the census, the state wouldn't have lost the congressional seats. We're losing seats. People are not going out. People are not voting. People are not doing their due diligence.
Their civic duties.
And then they're coming, this is your civic duty. And then you can't stand there and not vote and not be proactive. Each and every person needs to be proactive. You can't do not do your little part and then come and say, but I don't understand. Why are we so limited with the politicians that are representing us? Or why are we not being properly represented? Or we have problems, or we have different needs for our community, and those needs are not being met. Well, wake up and go vote. Wake up and do your duties. Do your civic duty, and then you'll get what you need to get. But if you just, don't do it, then...
Gary, somebody also asked as well, will this affect the current upcoming election now, which Heshy hopefully will be emerge victorious.
In the council,
it's coming a year later, I think.
2 years later.
2 years later. So for the time being, that seat will remain that will remain as is. The status quo will be maintained.
Right.
Can that be changed over the next 2 years in any way? Once that redistricting is in effect, it's going to happen after the first 2 years.
It's in the Constitution of the state.
It has to happen. Okay,
and the city charter.
When is the next voting date?
June 22nd.
June 22nd, people, go out and vote. Do your civic duty.
You can
wanna
also
Go out and vote for me. Hello.
Hey, is that Heshy that I hear?
Who's that?
How badly are you ruining my show tonight?
Oh, we're
Let me-
destroying it totally. Are you kidding?
Hit the disconnect button.
Hit the disconnect
trying
button.
hard.
Doug, I want all the listeners to know.
Actually,
1 minute. One minute. It's enough Heshy show. Always remember that.
It is absolutely.
I don't see Heshy. Who's Heshy?
Yeah, Heshy. By the way, we're really getting some very, very deep and thoughtful insight from our guest today, from Gary. And, I'm really glad that you brought him on tonight because he's explaining to the audience, to our listening, audience, how things work and how important it is. It goes to show, and like Sawyer said, how important it is for people to exercise their civil duties and, in fact, go out there and vote. And that's why people.
Well,
have to go
not
out
only,
there and,
I want you to know, where I am tonight.
Yes.
On the show because I'm at a rally, a small event, with people supporting me and making sure that we're raising funds for the campaign. I'm here explaining to them about what we're going to be doing. And Gary is a very important part of my campaign.
Integral. He's an integral part.
He's very big integral, and you understand that this is a very serious campaign. June 22nd, I want people not only to get out and vote, I want you to get your family members to register to vote. And Gary should talk about that, how people can register, and Gary should tell us about the early voting. We need to win this election. I'm here now with people telling me about issues from family members here, people telling me about issues, what the city has done to them. And I want you to know what I've told the people here. I'm going to tell it to you on the show, and I'm going to let you continue. By the way, how was my joke today that you told about me?
Well, it was not bad at all.
It was great.
Did she tell it good or she didn't tell it good? I need a good joke.
Well,
I do everything good, Heshy.
That's right. Her delivery was magnificent.
You do.
By the way, Heshy, who is Black Beauty? Sounds like a beautiful young lady.
It's a horse.
Black Beauty. It's the horse. It's the movie.
No,
the horse.
The horse seems to be riding in that case a lot, and I'm very impressed.
I just want all the listeners. I want all the listeners to know that this is a serious show, because even though we make fun of people and we try to make it more levity, but I want people to know that my message is out there, like I told the guys here tonight. I'm a serious guy that's not going to take any crap from the city. I'm going to be there. I'm not going to care if they sanction me. I don't care if they come after me. I don't care what they do. I'm going to stand there. I'm going to fight for my people. I don't care if you're black, you're Asian, you're Russian, you're Jewish, whatever you are, I'm going to be there. I'm going to make sure this is a better city. And you know what? Today.
Yes, Heshy. We just lost you. But I think we got the point. I was also going to say I was going to open the people that they want to address and bring out issues that they feel that are very important and they'd like Heshy to look at can always write on our address it to the what do they call this here? Write on this, and as well as they can also do it to heshytishler.com.
YouTube Super Chats.
Super Chats, exactly. And we will definitely, Heshy gets to see all of the issues that, for all the people out there, because Heshy's a man that's going to represent everyone.
Heshy, you got to...
now I want to give back the floor to
Gary, you just got a compliment. You got a few of them. All hail, somebody wrote down, all hail the great Gary Tilzer! Exclamation point.
But I want to just finish with you. Tonight at one of this event that I'm at.
This is like a recurring nightmare.
But I'm never going to go away. But I want you to know, tonight somebody told me, Gary, they want this guy Brennan to be the speaker of the city council. And I explained to them that Brennan is not a good guy. He says he's the best of all the evil ones. Is that an answer, the best of all the evil ones? So let me tell you what I'm going to do, gentlemen and ladies out there in listening land, and YouTube and Facebook. I'm going to win this election. I'm going to run for speaker, and I'm going to win the election, and I'm going to win it hands down. And that's what I want. I need donations. I need money to heshytishler.com.
Heshy, where can people? I'm running for I'm looking for volunteers. I'm just curious, and when you're not in the office, and I want to have fun, and I want to go, on walks with the volunteers and make calls and do stuff. I'm just curious, where can they contact to reach out to me?
So what you can do is, my campaign manager we have a phone number 516-405-6683. 516-405-6683, and you can give me any volunteer that wants to join me. And
you mean join me?
Right, and we're going to run this series. We're looking for as many volunteers as possible. We're ready, starting to put together our team. Plus, my office is located. Headquarters is located at 1212 Avenue M.
You mean that's where I am?
Right, and we're going to make a nice opening. What's it called?
Well, you can get a picture of Sawyer if you want autographed.
We're going to do
if you come down and pay a visit.
So if you want to volunteer and you want to come join me, 516-405-6683. Again, 516-405-6683. Come and join me and help me campaign for Heshy.
And we're going to have a pizza party launch in the next couple of days, either this Saturday or next Saturday. Once Sawyer has the place looking nice, sometime in the first 2 weeks of May. Everybody's invited. Yes, it's only pizza and French fries and whatever stuff, but come on down. We're gonna tell everybody the date, and you're gonna have a great time. And we're gonna have a lot of people there, and I want everybody to come. So just invite all your friends. I'm not scared, and we're going to win this, and we're going to change this city. I'm going to make this city open again. I'm going to stop crime. I'm going to promise you, I'm going to make sure the police are there. I'm going to stop these government agencies from coming after you and attacking you and helping you to get a better quality of life. This is who Heshy's doing. I'm not scared of them. Let them come after me. I'm not scared of them, and it starts right here with me. And my movement has moved. My movement has spread, and it's going to spread even more. I love all of you, and please continue my show and try not to mess it up too much, Boomy, because I know you're the troublemaker tonight.
Oh, boy.
Just tonight?
Knock down.
He's always the troublemaker.
He's always the troublemaker.
I know. Gary now. We had a few more issues we want to address.
Gary, by the way, Gary, thank you for coming on the show. Gary, thank you.
You know, I heard something that Gary Tilzer was, I think, part of the group for the campaign of Judge Ruchi Fryer and several.
I was the campaign manager.
Oh, he was her campaign manager.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Hesh. Good night.
I love you. Bye bye.
We love you too, Hesh.
Gary, please.
She was the first Orthodox woman to win a judgeship.
And you were her campaign manager.
I've heard about 87 other people being her campaign manager.
Yeah, they all claim to be.
But they weren't in the room.
I saw the photo. You have a beautiful photo in your office of you and Judge Fryer, and actually, I think two other judges.
The first Muslim judge,
right.
Kennedy, and the first Russian judge, Lane Barron.
Were you involved in their campaigns?
I was the campaign manager.
For all of them?
Yeah.
Wow, and they won.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Heshy has the right guy.
I don't know. We'll see.
Gary, let's go back to some of the issues that you're talking about.
One of the things I want to say, and this website has got to post how to vote by mail.
Okay.
To vote by mail, which is very important in this campaign, or any campaign this year, you have to go online or you have to fill out a form to get a ballot.
Okay.
Any registered voter can do that. Any registered Democrat can do that.
Do you know how they would go online, like what they would look for, or?
No, we can link it to anywhere.
Oh, we can. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay.
It should be linked to the website, but I guess there are too many, smart
We'll
people
get around to
doing
it.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
It should be done immediately.
Okay. You heard that, Mr. Producer? Okay.
So what is very important is they get the ballot so then they can vote by mail, because a lot of people won't still show up. There is a week of voting, early voting, and then there's election day, the normal election day. But most people will probably vote by mail. That's what we found last year in this area. Okay. But it has to get out by
the 15th or something. There was
soon,
1 week before. Soon.
Yeah.
Soon. Okay.
So, if everybody, they want to go to the mountains in June and stuff like that.
Right, they want to avoid having to worry about
they can still vote in May.
Good. Okay, we're going to try
and there's no excuse not to vote.
Okay. Okay, Gary.
Gary,
I wanted to ask you about something else that's maybe now we're going to a little bit of a more federal level again. I did want to talk for just 2 minutes about the raid on Giuliani's. I should not, Gary?
I don't know enough about it. That it sort of fits a pattern of what's going on.
It feels to me just simply that, like when you say a pattern, it seems almost as though the current administration is weaponizing the FBI again, in order to go after conservatives. It's like something that would be happening in Russia, in old Russia, where you would have where you would have a group of oligarchs, whoever it is, or if you go against one of the old Russian, they would go ahead and they would go after you to try to cut you down and bring you down because your political views differ and go against the political views.
I understand your speech, but what I understand is they're going after him for doing international trading or whatever you want to say it is without a permit.
But it seems to me as though they seem to be going after a lot of conservatives. It's almost like a revenge on conservatives.
Answer, Can I finish my answer?
Absolutely, Gary, please.
If you go to Washington on K Street with the lobbyists and with all these other political operatives, there's hundreds, thousands of people practicing deals with other countries without a license. Okay? So it's ridiculous to go after one guy and not the others.
So why are they picking on him? Because he's a conservative and because he's not, he goes against and he's openly, what's a phone, okay, I'm sorry. All right, I think I made my point. Let's take a call right now, let's see. Hello, you're on the air with Heshy, with Soya, Boomy, and Gary.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, I know Boomy's not there, but Heshy's not there, but Boomy, Sawyer, and Gary are.
Hi, Eddie. How are you?
Eddie.
Hello. I very much enjoyed the show. Sawyer was great on the commercials and a little bit of kibitzing with you and Boomy, and Mr. Gary was terrific. I like to hear from him again.
What about
very, very informative.
What about Eddie when Sawyer goes off on one of her passionate rants about going out to vote and doing your civic duty and stuff like that? I love those. Eddie,
what's your question? You have a question for us tonight?
Excuse me?
Do you have a question for us tonight?
No, actually, no. I'm enjoying listening. I'm learning a lot from Gary. He's very informative, and you two are doing a good job.
We really appreciate it.
Let me ask him a question.
Yes, please.
Who do you support? What do you think would make the best mayor? And do you have enough information to make that decision?
No, I don't have enough information, but from what I can see so far, the Republicans haven't put up much, but I fear for any Democrat at all. Any Democrat.
Well, somebody's going to be the next mayor.
I know,
well,
and there's no Giuliani in the wings.
Scott Stringer was just accused of sexual abuse and harassment, and he denies the allegations.
But, Sawyer, that could be a phony charge, a frame to get him out of there.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's a long time ago, and...
Right. It seems like we have a lot of criminals inside the political positions. Ilhan Omar, she's gone from jail cell to Congress. She was arrested 23 times. She's a daughter of Somali terrorists. She committed marriage and immigration fraud.
Right, exactly.
ISIS and Al-Qaeda sympathizer.
Okay.
She makes a mockery of the U.S. government.
We got the Fox News speech. Yeah. What do you think of de Blasio?
The bozo.
It's hard to describe him in words. He's so awful. Between incompetent, nasty, and lazy.
Unqualified. Massively
unfortunately,
inadequate and unqualified.
I worked on
on
Joe Loder's campaign on 2013 not to elect him. And I did that work when Malliotakis ran against him in 2017. She did a little better. But again, there's just too many registered Democrats who just always vote for Democrats.
Yeah. Let me ask you
something. No. New York, you got to understand this. I don't know what world you're living in, but New York is a one-party town.
That's unfortunate, yes.
There is no Republican Party, real Republican Party in New York.
Not locally.
Not locally, not in the Bronx, not in Brooklyn.
Not in the city.
Not in the city. There might be a few.
Well, I worked on Golden's campaigns in that little area. He did a good job for his constituents and as much as possible. But yes, I absolutely have to agree with you, unfortunately, and that's not a good thing.
No.
Eddie, are you in New York?
No, right now I'm in Dyker Heights calling you.
Oh, are you gonna come by and pass by and visit us at the campaign office in the next few weeks?
Yeah, I think I could manage that.
Okay.
We'd love
Swing
to meet
by.
you. Yes, absolutely, Eddie. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you being part of our show.
Okay. Good night.
Good night, Eddie.
Stay
Thanks
well.
for calling.
Good night.
Let's see if we can get another call. Good night.
Now I'm in Dyker.
Hello. Hello, you're on the air.
Yes, there's a native born Brooklyner running for city council in the 33rd district. Her name is Victoria Cambranes. And there's also a Jewish candidate for city comptroller from Queens, David Weprin. So I don't know if you would consider them worthy candidates or not, but Victoria Cambranes is very knowledgeable, and I believe she's very she's going to stand up for her local constituents. So I don't know if you know anything about her, but
No, this is beyond our reach.
I do. She's a very nice lady, but she's got a machine working against her in that part of Brooklyn, and I think she's running against Lincoln Ressler, who has all the support out there. He's a former de Blasio aide, so I would love to see her do good, but she's got a lot of problems with her, who she's running against.
Yes, and we thank you for your call, but we're going to stick to our...
I would like to volunteer.
Yeah, we have to stick to our district right now and to, stuff that relates and affects us directly at this point. We have, I think, just a few minutes to go. And there was something else you wanted to address, Gary, Soya? We'd like to...
We have the New York Senate moving to end alcohol with food restrictions on restaurants. Before they made it that the restaurants were not allowed to serve you alcohol unless you were buying food. They were making the restaurants crazy and forcing people. They couldn't just go out and get alcohol. Well, now you can just go out and...
have a drink.
Just have a drink and chill.
So they're lifting that restriction.
They're lifting, and... but regarding the NYPD, social workers and EMS will respond to non-violent mental health calls citywide instead of the NYPD. So now when a social worker shows up at your doorstep and gets involved in the argument, now we can, right after they show up, we can really call the police. Maybe they'll just send another social worker. Ridiculous. When you call the police, you call the police. I don't think a social worker should be showing up.
Not at that point when you need to call the police already.
So what do you think about, Gary, what do you think about the vaccine passports? Your thoughts on that?
I don't think anybody's going to put it together. I think that, as the problem gets less and less during the summer, it's just going to
fizzle out.
Okay, so but the thing is that they're promoting it and they're trying to push it.
Who is they?
And the government.
The government is not doing that.
Places are telling you have to go. When I went away for a Passover, they wanted us to show papers that we were either vaccinated or that we had the COVID.
That's
right,
the local area. But
at what point do we push back? We need to push back before our rights are taken away.
Well, Heshy's vehemently against that, and I think our local officials are taking, the side that that's
I don't think the federal government is going to move to to have any kind of...
We hope not.
No. But, one thing we want to go back to the mayor's race. Does anybody know what any of these candidates stand for?
That's a really good question.
I mean, we have the biggest fiscal crisis in the history of the city since the Depression.
Not to mention the city has become a shooting gallery.
And the crime is going up. And
the people are running away.
And the people are running away. And
we
still have a homeless problem. We still have all these other
problems
bigger that never were solved.
And that's one of the reasons we need leaders like Heshy in the council to unite the council.
We have a mayoral campaign also about nothing. They do their talking points about issues that really don't matter in what's really going on in the city.
And nobody really addresses how they're going to make those changes.
I mean, we had a debate tonight with a mayoral campaign, in the middle of the Scott Stringer problem, and the moderators for the debate was one was the guy who beat his mother, and another one who a former elected official who dated his staff.
Sickening.
So nobody even has a clue. So I'm trying to say one thing: the next mayor of New York, nobody will know who that person really is.
Well, let's hope that by the time that point which is getting very close, we start to discover the answers to those questions. That's the reason why we need Heshy in office. We need leaders, great leaders in the council that are going to unite the council and do what has to be done to repair our city. With that, Soya, I think it's time for you to begin the wind down. I think we have 1 minute left on our clock.
I think we should add prayers, for the city of New York to this show, how we pray for the city of New York.
Because whatever happens to the city if the city is going to recover, it's going to be good for all. Absolutely. A prayer never goes to waste. Yeah. That's something. And so I think we are just about out of time. Is there anything else that anybody left in, or
We left about everything that Heshy gave me.
Oh my
as
God!
far as material.
So at least he's gonna come after you, not me, right? He's just
Yeah,
gonna bash me in public. He's
No.
gonna bash you in private.
No, you didn't even go through your pile of stuff.
Well, listen, sometimes.
Okay, well,
But
listen.
anyway, it was really
If I'm
wonderful
going
having
down, I'm taking you with
you. Gary,
me.
thank you. Gary, it was great having you tonight. Thank you for coming.
I'm going to use
were
you as a
wonderful guest.
landing board.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen.
As the city council becomes more and more left-wing, which is going to happen, defund the police, the people getting elected will be much more left-wing in this year.
So we do need Heshy even for that more reason.
The city council deserves Heshy Tishra.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with that, we'll say goodnight. Wish everybody a wonderful rest of the week.
Looking forward to seeing you next week at Wednesday.
Thanks and good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.